Hello, welcome to another episode of HuGS, helping you grieve, grow, and gain spiritually. Today is September the 15th, 2024. I want to talk to you today about, um, it doesn't have anything to do with my life personally, but it's something that I have been wanting to talk about as far as it concerns our society. Um, Black people as a whole, we used to have so much respect for one another. We used to have respect for our elders, and we used to have respect for the younger people had respect for the older people. It was a time that even if somebody was cursing or swearing in front of an older person, they would cease and desist with that said language, or even have respect for a house of God. If you were cussing or smoking or something, people would actually step and walk across the street as to not to disrespect the house of God. One thing that I have noticed in my time here on earth is that we have come away from having that reverence for not only God, we don't have reverence for ourselves, we don't have reverence for our elders, we don't have reverence for women, the women don't respect the men. It is just so um, it's just so disheartening to see how our society has watered itself down to be something other than the great, mighty people that we are. And I want to read to you a scripture um, that I had came across in my studies, and it is coming from First Timothy 5, verses 1 through 2, and this is coming from the Christian Standard Bible. It reads, "Don't rebuke an older man, but exhort him as a father, younger men as brothers, older women as mothers, and younger women as sisters with all purity." Now, to exhort means to, um, well, actually, I'll start off with rebuke. To rebuke is to check for blame. Like, it's not saying that older men don't do things wrong. Is you would go, you would not go to them like very harshly and negatively and disrespectfully. And to exhort means to encourage. But what you would do would be to encourage these older people uh, to give them some reverence and and thank them for their guidance and thank them for the things that they have added to your life. And when it speaks about younger women and their purity, that's to have freedom from foulness, freedom from guilt, freedom from improper views. So you wouldn't view them uh, as trashy. I said that this scripture spoke volumes to me because there was an incident that happened at St. Luke's Hospital where this elderly woman who was still working. I don't know how many hours she was working. I don't know what her job title was, but I heard this on the news and it broke my heart. This elderly lady, she was working at St. Luke's Hospital and she was carjacked. They punched her. She was like in her 70s. They punched her uh, very aggressively and they kicked her. She was in critical condition. Now, you say, Tish, you don't know this lady. No, I don't. But I have elderly aunts and uncles and myself elderly. You know, I would hate for some young person to come along, and as I'm walking, from a doctor's appointment or something, and then get brutalized and carjacked. Uh, you know, it is so many things out here that these young people could be doing, and carjacking and stealing cars and speeding and reckless driving, homicides. Uh, I read one young man. He was him and this other young man got into an argument, an altercation. They both pulled out guns, uh, and they ran off. So then he came back and he shot into a house that he thought the the young man that he was arguing with, he thought that he had that was his house, but it ended up being the wrong house, and he killed a 9-year old little boy. Shot him dead right there in the room. He was playing a video game. His cousins were there. Then a couple of weeks later, he sees the young man that he had the altercation with and who he intended to kill, but killed the 9-year old child. He sees him at a July 4th event, and he shoots and kills him there. This is the reason why I started HuGS. I didn't just start HuGS. This have been in the making for several years now. I just got the courage. I just answered the call that God had placed on my life to have these sessions to talk about these kind of things, to encourage our people that we can do better. Um, our families, our families. I have a cousin. He's trying to get to pull together a family get together. Let's not wait until there's a death in the family and then we'll be shoulda, woulda, coulda. We could take the time to assist him to make this come to fruition. Um, if even if we work on it, maybe it might not happen this year. Maybe it might not happen as quickly as he wants. Maybe we could set it up for the summer or the spring of next year. But let's actively participate. Let's let's not always put ourselves in a position of saying, you know, I would, but you know, I could, but I got this and I got that. We all have this and that. I'm working with a limited income, but I will try to do my very best to make sure that this positive event happens. I don't always want to be surrounded by uh, death and deprivation and sadness. I want to see people smiling. I would like to see people smiling. Let's have some joy. It's imperative. God didn't just place us here for us to endure life. We're supposed to have some enjoyment out of life. We're supposed to have some fun. We're supposed to have uh, some laughter. You don't just always have to have worry, stress, and bills and all of that. I would just love for our family to uh, to assist him to make this happen, because it's so many terrible, tragic things that can happen in the blink of an eye. One of our cousins, uh, her vehicle, she was involved in a tragic hit and run. Like, it could have been, it could have went the other way. Now, I said on Facebook, and I'm going to say here, I thank God that it did not end tragically, because you hear so many people uh, that get involved with these hit and runs, and they don't make it out. Now, the driver of the actor vehicle, they make it out, but the person, the innocent person that they struck, don't make it. Yes, her car was damaged, but she's alive. She's alive, and thank God for that. Family, friends, loved ones, it's so much that can happen in our day-to-day lives, and uh, hearing about the terrible things that be going on. All I want to do is just be able to show love to my people, to my children. Every Sunday, we try to, my family and I, we have food, fun, and fellowship. I like to call it uh, food, fun, and fellowship. And looking at my grandbabies, and sometimes my great grands get to come by. These are the things that my grandchildren will remember. Yes, they may remember that Mima bought them a scooter. Yes, they may remember uh, one. They may remember something that you purchased. But what the things that we remember, even as I am 57 years old, the things that stand out in my mind are the things that I did with my family, where we were laughing. My cousins, this was my first siblings. I was his only child for a long time. Me and my cousins, me and Belinda, we were like sisters. And, uh, um, we just had such a wonderful time growing up. And these are the things that we can leave our children. These legacies. That's how come we remember being over by Muddy House and those big Thanksgiving dinners and all of the family and everybody coming by. Let's not lose that. Let's let's not lose that. We some of us are live in different cities, and we live all over the place, but that doesn't stop uh what we can do as a family. you know uh when Aunt Geneva passed, it was just so ironic that it she passed, and then we had the funeral. Like, memory had came up on my Facebook. It was the day that we had the Robinson Giles reunion in 2023. I believe, like, her funeral was either the day before or the day after the Robinson Giles family reunion. Let's not continue to keep having these type of shoulda, woulda, coulda. uh, let's try to reach out to Michael Jr. and see how we can assist him in helping make this event happen. Every day we hear about bad things happening to people, and let's let's do something to circumvent all of the tragedy and the tears. Let's look at each other with joy, and let's let our hearts ring with gladness, not sadness. Let's let our hearts ring with gladness, not sadness. If I said anything that has been of encouragement with you on today, please like, subscribe to this channel. I will see you all next week. Be blessed.